everyone. Welcome to our little drawing session today. Like we did before, if you were able to join me before, we're going to do a little character. And the way we're going to do this, again, like we did before, we're just going to concentrate on simple shapes and construction and proportion. So you can see we have this little chameleon character. I think he's from the movie Tangled. And so we're just going to draw him together. So this is the one that's kind of clear for you to look at. And I'm going to draw on top of this one to just create the shapes that we need. So one of the first things when I look at this, there's a couple of ways to kind of check how I'm doing with the drawing. So the first thing is I need a unit of measure. And I see if you look at the shape of this character, he has a little bit of a box shape for his head. So I'm just going to come through here and create this box shape like that, just to begin with. So if I use that as a unit of measure, I want to know how many units tall he is of that shape. So if I was to measure down, I'd say, okay, I've got an equal shape here and maybe an equal shape here. So I see him as about 2.5 boxes tall. So that's going to help me understand how tall he is. So again, I would probably, and I did this kind of rough, and you can too, and you just sort of make a shape, and then you have comparatively the same shape to have you decide how to draw the character. So let me turn this off and start over again. Okay. So what I want to do is, as I create that shape, again, I'm going to put in my box shape for his face. And then what I want to do is I want to find the direction that he's looking. So I'm going to find his center line coming through like that. The other thing is I need to find his gesture line. So he's got like his body, and remember, like I said, the rest of him is going to be about 1.5 squares. But even though I see that, it has a particular shape of its own. So the first thing I want to do, I want to find where the center of his body is. So he's looking toward the side, so the center of his body is coming down right through here. And the shape of that body is taking on kind of like a pear shape or some sort of bag shape like that. So it has like a soft thickness here and pulls itself down into something like that. So it's, when I sketch, I'm doing it really kind of rough because it's hard to do it roughly on the Photoshop. But I'm keeping it in like little strokes because I know I'm going to be making some adjustments along the way. So I don't want to make like a heavy line. I want to keep everything really nice and soft. One of the reasons you want to keep it nice and soft, especially if you've never drawn this character before, we don't really know it. So we're going to be doing a lot of adjustments. So I have that going down here. So I'm going to change my opacity on that so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to pull that down. But it's there so you can see it. So the next thing I want to do, I want to connect the arms. So again, I have my center line. So the arms, you can see here, they're thin in here. They get thicker as they come to the wrist. And then we have a little bit like a circle on the end for the arm, for the hand. So that's going to pull down here like that. I'm going to pull it over like this here. And then I'm going to put that arm on like that. So that's the construction of my body like that. And then on the other side, it's important to, when you look at this, you have these negative shapes between. So that also helps you put things in the right place. So I have a little bit of a negative shape from where this arm comes down. So again, you can notice that the arm is coming down, and I can line it up. For example, this is my box shape. but I can kind of pull where things are coming down to see where they actually are coming out of the body. So I'm going to pull this down like here, and this arm is coming forward this way with the circle on top of it. So if I was to draw it down here just to show you what that looks like, if this is my head, I've got this coming out this way. It's getting thinner toward the wrist here. This is getting a little bit thicker. Whoops, sorry about that. How do I close that? Ugh. This is coming down this way, and it'll get thicker as it comes toward the hand, like that. So things are kind of connecting, and I have this negative space between the body and the arm. So I just want the way you analyze it is you use the positive and negative spaces as you see them. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, I'm going to go in and we're going to put the legs on. So the legs too are kind of coming through kind of like a bent cylinder, kind of something like that. And then I would have the toes. Now I can do the toes as one big shape and then break it up into two shapes like that. And this one here too, as you can see it's coming out at the knee and then flattening out on the body. So I'm going to pull that in. I've got his body pulling around here, that shape we made. And then I'm going to pull the foot over like that. And then I've got his body pulling through. And this too, I'm going to connect it through the body to pull up his tail, which kind of just takes on like a circular shape like that, because it's curled up around his body. So that's going to pull around like that. Okay, so now we go back to the top. I have my square here that we established. And then I've got his neck pulling into the body like that. Now, we established that square shape is coming down like that. And the eyes are half of that square shape. So I'm going to break that apart. So in this whole shape here, the where the eyes are seated is half that shape. And I haven't included this on here yet. So one of the eyes is pulled kind of shut like that, and this one's a little bit wider like this. So you've got this one a little bit low and this one at an angle coming up like that. And then I've got my eyeball, this one right here, and this one is kind of hugging the corner up there like that. I can put the roundness of the pupil in. There's a little bit of a highlight there I can put in, so I'm going to put that in there like that. And the same over here. I'm going to put that in like that. It's a little bit of a color step in there like that. Then I've got his brow line, which is coming in here like this. And this is wrapping around the eye like that. And then I have his mouth kind of pulling up. Notice the distance that the mouth is from the eye. So make sure you get that distance in there. And then, of course, I have the bottom part of his mouth. And I've got this unique little horn maybe on the top of his head. I don't know how but that would pull around something like that. And he's got two little nostrils. So I'm going to put those on there like that. Now when we come into the arm, now we're going to just detail up those arms. I'm going to go over my ruff here. And again, this is pulling back in like that. But you can see there's some fingers there. So I'm just going to come in here and kind of put in a couple of bumps there to show he's got some digits on his arm coming up like that. And then on the hand is open on the other side. So again, I still have my circle shape, but I'm going to put like a little banana shape here. a little banana shape here, and then one pulling all the way down here. So it looks like his hand is open a little bit, and then I'm just going to go in and trace my rough under it like that. He's a little bit thicker here. I need to kind of thicken him up a little bit. But that's pretty much our construction for this cute little, I guess he's a chameleon from the movie Tangled. So that's how I'd approach it. Again, you want to just make sure you get all those shapes in there and work on your construction. A good way to check, again, is to check where things are falling on this drawing too. If I want to drop a line to see how far out the mouth is from the foot, if I want to see how the horn lines up, the horn kind of lines up as far out as where his knee is. But you can just be in the ballpark. It's not like you have to be right on it. It's just to kind of help you establish where things could fall and maintain. He has sort of a cuteness that you want to kind of keep, which is really what his proportion's all about. If you get his head too big or the body too long, it's not quite the same character. So hopefully this will help you. Again, I didn't put some things in here, but we got a little bit of a bottom lid on his eyes, things like that. So anyway, I hope that's a fun little character for you to work on when you start practicing drawing. So thank you very much.